Greetings and welcome to another episode of All My Stitches. In today's episode, I'll introduce 3 new stitches: the stacked single crochet, the half double crochet, and the double crochet. So without further ado, let's get started. Continuing from where I left off on the last episode, where I showed how to make the single crochets here on this swatch, we're going to dive right into the next row. So last time we chained 1 and turned our work. This time we are not going to chain 1. We are going to simply turn our work. I'm going to still turn like I'm turning back the page of a book. Okay? Now we're going to go right into this first stitch here and make a single crochet. Insert hook into the stitch, yarn over the hook, pull through the yarn, bringing up a loop. We have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. That is a single crochet. To continue and make this stacked single crochet, we're going to go into the left leg of that single crochet stitch. There's 2 legs there. This is the right leg, this is the left leg, and we're just going to go into the left leg, and that's 1 strand of yarn there. Insert hook into that left leg, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We've just made a stacked single crochet. I'm going to take my hook out of that so that we can take a stitch marker and put it in the top of that stitch so that we know when we come back on the next row that we'll need to work into the top of that stitch. This will help you identify the top of that stitch. If you don't have a stitch marker like this, you can use a piece of yarn as a stitch marker. Let me take the hook out again. I'll show you how to do that. It's a little tricky to get that in there. I'm going to try to use my hook here. Put it into the stitch. Put the yarn over the hook and pull that through. Preferably a different color yarn so you can easily see that. Okay, so because we need to remember to work in this stitch when we come back. That's the first stitch of the row. Now let's make the half double crochet along the stitches, the rest of the stitches of this row. To make the half double crochet, yarn over hook, insert your hook into that next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3 loops on the hook. And that is a half double crochet. Again, yarn over hook, insert your hook into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, yarn over, bring up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. We're going to go down the rest of the row here. Completing the row with half double crochet. We have 1 stitch left. Insert hook, bring up a loop. Oh, see? Now I forgot. Yarn over first. Then insert hook into the stitch. Bring up a loop. 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 3. That completes our first row of half double crochet stitches. Now you can watch back on the video on how to continue making that half double crochet stitch and keep practicing for as long as you would like on your little swatch here. This is just to practice stitches. We aren't really going to make any pattern here. This swatch will just be for you to practice your stitches on. Now, to start the next row, no chains here. We're going to turn our work like we're turning back the page of a book and make that stacked single crochet stitch. Now, the stacked single crochet is basically you make a single crochet and then you make another single crochet in the left leg of the first single crochet stitch that you made. Let's make that again. Insert your hook into this very first stitch here and make a single crochet. Bring up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to make another single crochet on top of that single crochet we just made by inserting our hook into the left leg right here. Bring up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is our stacked single crochet. This time I'm just going to use a stitch marker to mark that stitch. This is the loop. This is the top of the stitch. If you look at the anatomy of this stitch, it's a little bit weird looking compared to the other stitches. And you'll see the V here a little bit kind of like on the side of the stitch. And there's another looking V even below that, and that's because we're making a single crochet stitch on top of a single crochet stitch, the stacked single crochet. So you want to make sure that you're getting the top of that stitch when you come back around. And I'll show you that at the end of this row. This stitch is going to get used in my granny square pattern that I do. So I wanted you to be familiar with this stitch. Now we're going to make the double crochet stitch on this row. To make the double crochet, you're going to yarn over hook, insert hook into that next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, stop. There, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Let's try that again. Yarn over the hook, insert your hook into the next stitch, and bring up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over hook, insert hook into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is a double crochet stitch. Yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, and bring up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This stitch gets used a lot in patterns. Once you get the hang of this, you'll be able to get through any crochet pattern that you want to make with just these basic stitches. The single crochet, well, the chain stitch we learned in the first video, and the single crochet stitch that we learned in the first video, and then the half double crochet and the double crochet. I'm showing you how to do this stacked single crochet because it is something I prefer doing in my patterns, and so it'll be at the beginning of a round, or the beginning of a row, and actually the beginning of a round when I make my granny square. So we've got 2 stitches left, and you see we marked that stitch, that stacked single. So it's kind of, hidden away here at the end, but we marked it so we know we've got to make a double crochet in that stitch. Okay. I'm going to yarn over. There's a few ways you could do this. You could move that, or you can put your hook in there. Okay, and now we can remove that. Okay. You can see this edge here is nice and straight where we did the stacked single crochet, where when we had the chain 1 and we were turning, it kind of left that little bump out. Now, most patterns will have you doing a border, and it'll cover up that bump. You won't see it once you get a border around your project. But with a stacked single, it really keeps this nice and straight. You don't get a little bulge coming off the side of your work. It's really prevalent here, where that chain 1 just kind of bulges out on the side here. Okay, keep practicing your stitches. Remember, you can go back. I will try to include some chapters on this video. I hope this video is going to be in full screen for you. And tell me what you think. Tell me what your favorite stitches that you've made so far, and how are you doing on your practicing. Let me know in the comments below. And in the next video, I will show how I make my granny squares. Until then, take care, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.